All right, so we should be live on YouTube right now. But before we get this thing underway, is there anything that you want to plug or anybody want to shout out?
Not really.
All right. Let me just make sure we are live on YouTube. All right. Yeah, I'm having my dad check to make sure. Let's see. Yeah. All right. I guess. Well, at least on my thing, it looks like we're all good. Yeah, I can hear myself too. So yeah, I guess we'll go on Instagram then, and yeah, we'll get this thing started.
All right, for sure.
Yeah, I'll start it because I'll do. All right, just hold on. Let me see. I don't know if it has on your Instagram, but like my Instagram, what happens is I'll go on it and then it doesn't work, so I have to clear out of the app and go on it again, and then it works. Like, it's been like that forever. I don't know why, but
too much media. No, I ain't got mine. Don't do that.
No. But like it's been doing that since like I just got in. Like I got Instagram for the first time, like December 26th, 2019. Like I've only had it for like a year and a half, I guess you could say. Like since the beginning, it has always done that.
I don't know.
All right, let's see. Oh, let's go. It looks like it's working. All right. I'll DM you the thing right now.
But no, I clicked it.
Oh, all right.
But how do you?
All right. I'll DM you the thing right now.
But no, I clicked it.
Oh, all right.
But
I'll DM you the thing right now. Oh shoot, I forgot. So do you know how to request or no? All right. So yeah, you did. All right. Yeah. Oh shoot, I forgot. So do you know how to request or not?
Yeah, I did it. I think I'm.
Yeah, you're good. You did. All right. Oh shoot, I forgot. So do you know how to request? Yeah.
Yo, what's up?
All right, what's going on? Let me make sure. I'm gonna double check again and make sure that we can hear the YouTube link too. Yeah, just so you guys know, this thing is live on both. If you prefer to watch it on YouTube, we're live on YouTube right now. Just double checking before we kind of get things underway. Cause yeah. All right. All right. Well, I guess we'll get things started with a pretty basic question. Hopefully the YouTube runs smoothly and everything. What's good, Scotty? And Scotty throwing up the laughing emojis. Yeah, Scotty, bro. I learned about the CMOS. Pretty crazy, but yeah, I guess we'll get this underway. Basic question, but what I like about this question is it's different for everybody. I want to know like what got you started in the basketball industry.
Well, playing, and I was just playing at the park every day, and like someone that ended up being like one of my friends, he just asked me like, "Yo, who do you coach for?" I was like, "I'm really coaching no one." You know, he took me to the AU team. Actually, New Heights to the AU team in New York, and yeah, that's how I got really started.
Yeah, and I want to ask, so you're like a New York people, I guess you could say.
Yeah, I grew up in a place called Mount Vernon. Mount Vernon is nothing but basketball players. Like that's it's a lot of guys from back in the day in the NBA that came out of Mount Vernon. So the community was just all basketball. That was mainly it.
Yeah. Now I'm not like I wouldn't say I'm the most knowledgeable guy about high school basketball and like basketball in general, so I don't have an opinion on this. But I saw like the McDonald's All American account, they posted like the best guards come out of New York. Some people were kind of saying no, people were disagreeing. What's your do you have an opinion on that statement?
I mean, for sure, I'm gonna agree with them. Especially, you know, a lot of New York. There's a lot of guys born in New York. You know, like Michael Jordan, Carmelo Anthony. You know, a lot of guys are from New York. So, I mean, people say over the last couple of years there hasn't been a lot of, I guess, NBA guards from New York. But you know, like right now, New York and Harry's from New Jersey, but he got, you know, a lot of that stuff came from New York. So he spent a lot of time in New York. So two of the top guards in the NBA right now, I would say, you know, and I believe in the next, you know, couple of years, a lot of young kids coming out that should be making noise as well. So yeah, I agree. Definitely agree.
And I want to know your name. It's Coach AB. For those who don't know, like I'm trying to get into coaching a little bit. maybe I'll go that route, maybe I won't. But for now, like we'll see what happens with that. What got you into the coaching aspect, I guess you could say?
Coaching, I was another thing, like someone else just, pulled me in it. One of my best friends is Durant Scott. He played basketball at the University of Miami. So during the summers I would work the camps with him. And one of the coaches just came up to me and was like, "Man, the kids seem to, take an interest to you. I think you could get into coaching." And I never really thought about it. And then I started doing like some one-on-one sessions, and then fast forward a couple years later, Kemba Walker was here. They had a game, and I went to the game. And he introduced, at the time he was signed with Under Armour, and there was Under Armour rep here that knew a local team that was starting down here, and introduced me to the guy. And I started, and it's been like 7 years now, I would say. So I've always been someone, like telling me like, "Hey, I think you should do this," and I tried it.
Yeah. So you bring up, I guess, those relationship with the players. Can you talk about like how important that is, like being close to basketball players? Like, of course, being a coach, you gotta have that knowledge. But I guess what would you say? Is if there isn't a more important, is it more important to kind of have that really good relationship with your players, or is it more important just to know those X's and O's?
You mean like the players I coach, the players I'm coaching?
What would you say is more important to being a better basketball coach, if there is like one that's more important? Is it having that good relationship with the players, or is it just having the right X's and O's and everything?
I would say it depends on the level, because we're talking about like kids already in high school, they can have a hoop, So I think you could take somebody with a good personality that can understand how to talk to like kids and get the best out of them. That doesn't know the game, that could, is really good with kids. I think they can get something out of those kids. So, coaching is more than knowing the game. I think you have to. It's like being a parent, though. Like I'm have different backgrounds, and I talk to them all different because they're all different. So I can't have one way. Just in my one way is going to work for all the kids. So, but I've been blessed to, I've heard that from other really good people in the basketball world. So it helped me, So that's how I go about it. So I think you don't have to know X and O's, you just have to understand their personalities. And if you're close with the players, then you know how to get the best out of each player.
Yeah, and can you maybe elaborate that a little bit more? Like, I know I literally just posted before we did this thing. I posted my interview with Marcus. I know he's one of your guys, somebody that you've coached before. Like, can you maybe dive deep a little bit more, like how you are able to build your relationships with your players?
Yeah, I also keep it like 100 with them, and I keep it real. Like Marcus, somebody that just really came along in the last year. When I first met him, maybe 2 years ago, or a little bit over that, I could tell that he was going to be good at basketball. But at the time, nobody really cared about him. And I'll never forget, there was a tournament. I believe it was All on the Beach or one of those tournaments. And at the time, I wasn't playing in the tournament. So me and my kids got asked other teams to play. So, they went ahead and played. And I remember no one asked Marcus. He was upset about it. I don't want to put his business out there, but I think he was, very emotional about it. And I'll never forget, I told him, what you feeling right now, I know you don't want to feel it again. So use this as motivation, So you just being honest and everything that I've been honest in the past has happened. So I believe, honesty in any relationship is what's going to get the best. Is what's going to bring the best out of both sides.
Yeah, for sure. And I guess another thing I'm curious about, I feel like we've seen there's Coach Mike at Western. I feel like he's a very good coach in terms of relating to your players. I know he's a young guy. I feel like the coaches that relate to the players the best are either very, very young, or they just somehow are able to relate to the players. I guess they could say they could be an old old age guy, but somehow like that new youth wave. I guess we could say. Do you think maybe starting out, like you kind of told me, like it's good to start off young? Would you say if you want to be a coach, it's maybe better to get into it as soon as possible and as young as possible, because then the younger you are, the closer you are in age of your players, the more you can relate to them and all that stuff. What's your opinion on that?
No, for sure. That's kind of like music. I guess the older generation doesn't like the new generation of like rap, right? So, but it's working because these dudes are selling records and making money. So, I think what I'm trying to say is you have to adapt at the time. Players are really important. Back in the day, I felt like it was just people felt like coaches were, or the coaches is important. Like if the players are not good, you're not going to be able to do what you need to do. So, I just think you have to, like I said, I'm around basketball 24/7. Like this is not just like a weekend thing. I just go coach AAU or be training like Monday to Sunday, back to Monday, all basketball. So, even I'm on the phone talking to my friends, coach basketball. Like it's just all basketball. So I've been able to understand the new, and hear from my board up in Texas and going to, to put it together for me to help the kids where I'm at. So I believe it's definitely a new way of talking to kids, of dealing with things. Like back in the day, coaches ran kids. I don't run them. I just send them home. Like I'll see you tomorrow. Like, right now, you're not ready to go. So, like I'm about to run you. Like, just go home. And you're ready when you're ready. Right. Come back. If it's a continuous thing, then it won't be no coming back. So. I think definitely the new generation definitely helps.
Yeah, and I like how you bring up the whole, like I said, you don't make your guys run, you'll kind of send them home, like kind of showing the discipline kind of thing. That's something I feel like that maybe like a negative, I guess, to being a younger coach is it's like you're like in a awkward, you don't want to seem like somebody that they're not going to like, because they're yelling at them and bouncing out here. You want them to think you're one of them. Yeah, but you want to have that respect from them, I guess you could say. So how do you handle that? Like being young, wanting them to think like, oh, he's just one of us, but at the same time, like they know, like they're always going to listen to you. How do you balance
that? It's just like I said, bro. Just being honest, like I said, like with Scotty, me and Scotty have like a personal relationship. But when I'm coaching him, like it's different, So I kind of just set the bar and just let them know, like this is how this is gonna go. This is how it's not gonna go. And speaking on the sending the kid home, like I have a kid that played with me a couple years ago, and he just kept getting beat backdoor by a kid that he shouldn't be beat backdoor with, and sent him home. And that was the last time he played with me. And he was trying basketball out, and now he went back to football, his original sport, and he just committed to Florida, as a junior. And he asked me a month ago, he was like, yo, why did you kick me out of practice that day? And I'm sure that was always on his mind, but that helped him, I believe, to continue to work in football, to show that, like, just because you big and good at something, like you're just gonna be able to stay here. Like, you gotta work. So, like you said, it's teaching. So it's either I'm teaching you to work hard or like sit down and understand what went wrong. Not like running. Yeah, Jalen Francois. But yeah, so
yeah, that's
definitely just setting the bar and letting them know like this is how this is gonna go.
Yeah, and besides your ability to create the relationships with the players, and all that, like, what's your on-court coaching style? Like, are you like what's your defense like? What's your offense like? Like, talk about that.
So offensively, we have like two sets that we run. Because I'm big on just letting the kids read the defense. So we have like two sets, and from each of those sets, it's 5 different plays. So if one doesn't work, second one, if 5 doesn't work, then I guess something needs to work. So offensively, it's just whoever gets the ball. Like I don't have a point guard that sets the thing up. Whoever gets the ball, push it. Defensively, we do a lot of 1-3-1. We do a lot of trapping, so it's just, there's different styles that it depends on the game, also. So it just depends on the team that we're going to play.
Yeah. Would you say like that? I mean, it seems like it's going that direction. Not even future basketball. Like, I don't know too much college basketball. I guess you could say that. Like, I'm watching Northwestern play. I think they're kind of got and go. Out of my school, we've definitely just kind of had that style of offense. A good amount of the season, we just went out and ran. Do you think that's really going to be the future of basketball, where we're going to stop seeing less and less sets, and we're going to see guys maybe go run a few actions and just move the ball around and score that way?
Yeah, I believe so. Because with sets, like I could just go online and watch all your games and know all your sets, and just if you don't have players, like you can't run certain sets, So I think the game is becoming just more react. Like some of the best players in the NBA, they just react. And I think that's a better way than having 20 plays, and I have to remember 20 plays. And you want me to go in the corner, but the defense knew I was going to the corner, but you got mad that I did something else, So that's why, as a coach, I let the kids just it's pretty much free offense, Like I don't tell nobody not to shoot, So
yeah. And I know you do a lot of play development or training, however you prefer to call that. We see coaches, or I guess whatever, play development guys or coaches. We see them, crisscross over. We'll see coaches help develop players. We'll see player development guys coach basketball games. Like those things, they are completely different. But is that something hard for coaches to balance? Because I feel like I see a lot of people do that. So.
Yeah, I think it's the difference. Definitely, like I said, just my experience, I was blessed to be able to be around a lot of guys in the NBA, former guys in the NBA, a lot of coaches in college right now. So I got like the best of both worlds, growing up. And it was one conversation I had with someone that helped me a lot as far as being a better coach, understanding personality. I always do well, and I think my coaching style has helped me maybe get the players to buy into what I'm telling them and to see it actually work. So, yeah, I mean, it's definitely a difference. And there's guys, that say player development, but I don't know any players that's developed. So that title is very, a lot of guys just catch rebounds, and say they're player development. Yeah, it's definitely a difference, I would say.
Yeah, I want to go back to actually. So I did an interview with somebody, probably one of my first 20 interviews, and he said actually it shouldn't be called unless you just don't take it that seriously. You shouldn't be called a trainer. You should be called player development. Even if you are just rebounding, it's not like you're not saying I developed a player. You're saying you're doing player development. That's kind of my opinion. You are helping them out. Unless you're standing there and whatever, you technically are still helping them out. I would go with the more player development.
Yeah, player development. So I think there's two meanings for sure. Player development means that you have helped develop the player. That's not like helping him get 2,000 shots. It's like actually developing that shot, actually developing the way he does a move, the way he thinks the game. So I think there's definitely a difference between the word training and player development.
Yeah, I agree. I guess I wouldn't think I don't know. I wouldn't think somebody I just can't imagine somebody calling himself player development and saying let's shoot 2,000 shots in a match. I just can't. I can't really fathom that.
You could get your grandma to help you with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, you could do that by yourself. Honestly.
Facts.
Yeah. But man, I had a pretty actually. All right, yeah. I'll ask this question because I've been writing down a few stuff kind of comes to my mind. You mentioned how you help train these players every day and everything. at least for myself personally, like I honestly like I don't really spend like I do something basketball related every day, but I try to make sure I don't do it all day or don't consume too much time on basketball. Like, I don't want to fall out of love with the game. Like even if maybe I do my basketball so much where maybe I won't, but like you never know. I don't want to risk it. I think it's still healthy to do stuff outside of basketball as well. Like what's your take on that? Since you're always kind of grinding every day.
I agree. I agree definitely. You definitely do other things, throughout the day. So, like, I have a newborn son, so I spend a lot of time with him, and that's kind of like my one thing right now that I do besides working. But for me, I just love it so much that and I work with so many different kids. Like I work with kids that I train kids that don't even watch basketball. Their parents just want them to move and to just work hard. But I train a couple kids that like I tell him the shoes he's wearing and he doesn't even know who the player is. Like that type, like for real. Like so for me it's fun just being around different type of people and just helping the next generation. Especially not being a father, like that's a big thing. So I kind of just want to do my part and just help out as much as I can help out. So for me, it's not even like work, bro. It's like just leaving the house, going to do something I love.
Yeah, for sure. And you mentioned, I don't know. I was curious. Like, have you been reading these comments or not?
I've been seeing a couple. I don't.
I was like, that's just my sister. Like, it's not like an actual fan or anything. That's just my sister.
I've seen it.
Yeah, just so you know, like I don't want you to think I got these like bots and any of that. Yeah, yeah. You mentioned your son. Like this is kind of why like I asked that like question before about basketball is because I mean for me, as much as I love basketball, like I can tell you right now, like I would just love to like I think my baby's adorable. Like I would love to just be a father, have a baby, have a wife, whatever. Like I feel like that's kind of the main goal overall. That's how do you say like a lot not a lot better, but it's like I don't know, it's something I'd want to do in my life that's bigger than basketball and outside of basketball. But I just feel like basketball, like it takes up a lot of time. Like I'm always spending so much of my time like grinding on this or watching this basketball thing. I was going to practice. Like how were you able to make that work, make it happen? I just feel like basketball, like if you want to make it, like, I honestly feel like it may take up like too much time. Like I'm really doing it all, like someone grinding like all day. Where I feel like it's impossible to do anything else. So how have you made that work?
I just be taking it day by day. So like my girl and my son, I can go to people like her and my girl goes to people like 9:30, depending on the day. So sometimes I'm up to like 2, just like watching the game, or I'm watching like a documentary that has to do with basketball. Like I said, I take everything throughout the day to help out with basketball. Because I'm dealing with people and I have to talk to people in different situations can be the same but different, So I don't know, bro. I don't even know how to do it sometimes. Like when my girl was first pregnant, it was tough. I would be at practice like 10, and I would be home and to wake up at 6 to, so it was just a lot, but I just, like I said, I love what I do, so I make it just find time.
Yeah, definitely for sure. And now I can move on to a little bit more about basketball. The lab. I think I asked you this. But that is kind of your company, your team, foundation, whatever you want to call it. Before we get a little more into that, could you talk more about the I guess the forming of the lab?
Yeah, so the lab, I've coached a few programs, and I've always had like a core group of kids that I've trained, and over the years, from joining other programs and just seeing how things are done, like a lot of basketball down, a lot of it is for the money, so just stuff, especially when they're younger. So that made me just want to start taking it more serious, and like really getting kids, better. So I just, I worked with a few different programs, coaching, and one day I just started my own. First, it was a different name, and then I changed it to the lab, because I wanted to grow and be big, and impact people, the vision that I have for it, and rap. But yeah, I just a core group of kids that I've been working with training. I just put them together, different age groups, and we just started competing. This year, these kind of picked up a little bit. A lot of the kids got better, and so that's how the lab started.
Yeah, and you made it seem like almost not like simple, but I guess almost it just kind of came to be naturally. Like how did you have to form it? Like what really went into it? Like coming up with the name and like finding the place to practice and like hitting up guys to make a team. Like talk about that process too.
Honestly, to be honest, bro, I probably only hit up one kid ever to play for me, and that was like the first time I was starting. Like there was one kid that I was like, I liked his game a lot. Actually, Deshaun, that's at Miramar.
Oh
yeah. So when I first started the team, I knew someone that knew him, and I liked his game a lot. And I was, he played with us, I think, a tournament or two. But that's like the only kid I've ever, reached out to. Everybody else, in the beginning, I kind of got the kids that nobody wanted, that they thought wasn't good. And, we just started working. And then a year later, those same people now calling those kids to, get back to their program and stuff. So I just started with what I had, and they started getting better. And then this dad told this dad, like, yo, my son's getting a lot better. I think you should bring your son. And he brought his son, and they got better. And it just kept going, bro. Even now we have like 36 starting, and like I've never had a tryout ever. Like, I see all these tryouts, and I'm like, bro, but yeah, you gotta build, bro. You gotta build from within, and trust what you got. And I started with Lucas Gibb at Beach High. People in the beginning used to think he wasn't like good at basketball, and now he's like 6'5" and hits everything. So like Clarence, that's at Northern with Marcus. He was another one, and ended up starting as a freshman. Scotty, before he went to New Jersey, he was a center, and now he's in New Jersey playing point guard. So it's like I said, bro, it's just everything that whatever we had, we just worked. Everybody got each other better, and now we just keep going.
Yeah, I was like really super interesting. I really want to get back to that. So how many kids did you start off with? Like, of course, was it just like 5 kids or something like that, and then you just expanded?
So at first, I started off, real talk. When I did my own thing, I started off with probably 7, and then Marcus came, Clarence came, and then we did a year with those 10. And then the next year, I met Christian, the other kids, Ralph, a few young kids as well. And we just it's crazy as it sounds, but that's what happened. We came to the gym. We was practicing outside. We was places to practice, whatever, and we just always kept working. And works always.
Yeah. So I guess just for that first 7, how'd you get that first 7? I really want to know how you got the beginning. How'd you know?
So when I was coaching with a program, I left the program. When I left to start my own thing, 5 of the kids came with me. So they came with me, and then it literally started by couple dads calling their friends. Their kids was getting time in those people, just come here, you play. and they got better. I'm still with. I would say right now, it's like 3 kids that's been with me for like over 5 years, 6 years. From training, and everybody else has been since we started in the last 2 years. We've been together, and it's literally been a phone call. Just on that person. That was it. I never had a tryout. None of that.
Yeah, and since you did say you have like a 3rd through 6th grade team, whatever, like have you? I'm assuming you expanded your coaching staff as well, right? Or did you start off with like a couple guys from the beginning?
Yeah, well, in the beginning it was just me. No, in the beginning it was just me, and then my boy Coach Greg, he was helping out, and Coach Deasia, she was helping out as well. They don't help me anymore, but we're still friends. Like Coach Greg still comes by and stuff. But then when I started lab, I had somebody with me, and then things didn't work out, so we just went different ways. Kept the lab rolling, and right now, it's just me and someone else. I have a couple younger kids that help me out sometimes. But right now I'm hands on. From 3rd all the way up.
Yeah, and you guys can comment the last emojis right now and ask the question. But the lab, I forgot what that stands for, but I'm pretty sure the A and B doesn't stand for your name unless it does. But if so, is that like a coincidence or what about that?
So when I was thinking about changing the name, because before it was ABBSA, it was just like my name, Academy. And I was at work one day and I was trying to come up with a name because I had to put all these things together, and I was like, I can't think of a name. And then I was like, we always in the lab, but I was like, how can I use the lab into something different? And then I wrote out lab, and I just looked at the acronyms. I was like, okay, boom, 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 and then it was leaders and ballers, and I was like, damn, that sounds like actually what I'm pushing, and it just happened. So I don't know what. There's nothing else. Adrian Brown, like I don't, it's leaders and ballers. What we stand for. So
yeah,
that's what the lab.
Yeah, that's like so dope. Like I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like leaders and ballers, like that sounds like that sounds like pretty dope. For sure. And just continuing on with that brand, like when you were forming it, like kind of when I formed my Instagram, like I had like goals, I had like things in mind, like where I wanted to see, like, I guess you could say pages or companies that I wanted to kind of emulate. I don't even know if all of the ones in here, but like they were something I was trying to do like for a little bit, or something that inspired me. Tapping on me and everything. I know there's commenting a little bit on the interview. Like that's kind of where I had like these sorts of things. Like I kind of wanted to try to be like and kind of make my own thing. Like what are you trying, or what is your vision for the lab? Like outside of helping develop players, like where do you want to see the brand go?
I want to see the brand eventually and be able to other coaches coming up with the same vision, be able to just expand and have a facility, and that's pretty much continue to give back. So that's pretty much that's the long-term goal, to open up like the lab facility.
Yeah, I know facilities like at least like people I've spoken to. I know those are pretty big, I guess, for those programs and everything. You think if you make a facility, will it be like a science lab in there potentially? Like a science lab?
I'll probably make something creative, like to show like how what we put into the players to be able to get them to play how they play. So we'll probably have like a room there, like it's like a museum. It'll be the lab museum and how we get to be the players that they are.
Yeah. And coaching for the lab, or just in general, like what has been your most memorable game? I guess you could say. Claire said the CMOS. I was
about to tell you. See, the CMOS. People don't know about the CMOS. The CMOS has helped save a lot of cramps, bro. A lot of cramps. I've seen it. But wait, what did you say? What was the last
Yeah,
one?
sorry. I asked about like your most memorable game. Coaching.
My most memorable game, man. It's been a couple, but one that we won, I would have to say this was when we were still AB's BSA. We were in Atlanta, and we were down. Like on that team, I had it was the beginning. So I had a bunch of different kids, and that weekend, I think 4 of those kids was their first time ever on a plane. So it was a dope. Like I felt good just being able to get like this kid never been on a plane, be able to get him out where he's from to see other things, and so that was already big going into the weekend. And we were down like, bro, I think 12 points was probably like a minute 30 left. And Lucas Gibb from Utah probably hit I mean, so we're down 12. He hit about 4 threes, and then the fifth one, he got fouled on it, and and then we won by like 2. But that minute 30 seconds was just like we had to steal a hit or 3. That was tough though. That was probably my best game as a coach.
Yeah, I definitely. Yeah, that sounds like crazy to have, especially like on the team with no shot clock. So that's something. Yeah, I can't even imagine that. Like, well, I guess like it's also possible. Like you guys have done it, and it could clearly happen. Like 12 isn't down by too much. Like that time, no shot clock. Like that really is crazy. And I mean, you obviously like you have to develop these guys. As you said, like you kind of took the people that other teams like didn't want or whatever. Like I know you've like been very honest with your players, like built great relationships, but skill wise, like what's been your key to developing them to make them just better basketball players?
Bro, because I can actually do the moves that I'm asking them to do. Like it doesn't look awkward when I do it. Like it's believable. Like anything you want to learn, if somebody's speaking it to you, like I'm not gonna learn how to cook from somebody that's never cooked. Like I don't, you can't just watch how to cook it on YouTube. Like if you've cooked this and you know how it's done, then I trust you. So, and a lot of my players can't guard me. So that's like the number one thing. So if you can't guard your coach, you might as well listen to him. So, but nah, I think that's a big part of it. Like I said, and I think another big part of it is because I coach them as well. I've been able to put them in game situations to get the best out of their games. Like when Scotty first started playing with me, he was a center, but slowly I just had him bring the ball up just to get used to it. So I think that's a big part of the development. I've been Clarence knows he can't guard me, but that's been a big part of the development, bro. Just putting them in situations that they're uncomfortable with, so they can, get better. Like, how can you get better at something if I don't put you in a position to do it? So I think that's the main thing to help the kids get better, like with their skills. For sure.
I want to ask me personally. Like, I'm not a hooper. Like, I could dribble the ball. I could shoot whatever. I've been slowly, but I've been working on my shot for years, trying to make it look like most fundamental shot. But working on that, I'm not a hooper. If I want to be a coach, like, what would be your advice to me? Because I'm not gonna train hooping like all day, trying to become a basketball player when I'm not even trying to play basketball. Like, what would be your advice then to a guy like me who can't really hoop like that?
Yeah, well, that's where it comes in with personality, being able to coach. Because, like I said, it's not all about knowing the game. Like some of the coaches in the NBA are the worst players ever. But they have great personalities. They can get the best out of someone. But that's what I mean on different levels. So. For instance, like somebody that doesn't really know shouldn't be working with, like I think with younger kids, where they need to understand skills and what to do. So I mean, but you can always, like watch things and gain knowledge. Like I said, whatever you put in, you get out. So it's different ways to enhance your skills and whatever you want to do in basketball.
Yeah, for sure. And you made that move. I guess not like extremely recently, but you're now going to do some stuff with Each One Teach One as well. One of the EYBL programs, kind of known for in the state of Florida. Can you take us through what got you that opportunity?
Yeah, I just think over the last couple of years, it's it's like I said, people have seen Jet. I don't know if you can guard me, Jet. I might have a couple clips in my phone from when we used to train. That I don't know. I think I might have scored on you one time. I have to check that. But yeah, bro. It's wait, what were we? Yeah,
you're good. Yo, Jet. If you ever come back to South Florida, bro, we gotta get a one-on-one. Trust me. Well, I'm
gonna check the phone. Facts, I'm gonna check the phone when we get off because I might have a clip where I hit him with an in and out. I don't know though. I'm gonna check it.
Yeah. We gotta see that for sure. But now I asked about the Each One Teach One movie.
Yeah, the Each One Teach. So basically, just like I been working with kids in South Florida, and been able to help them develop. The biggest stage is EYBL. So my team, we're not on EYBL. So if I'm able to have players that can compete on EYBL, and over the years been able to develop a couple of those kids. For me, I think it was a good decision on my part to, because I want the best for my kids at that level, so, and putting them with a program that, that's been able to produce and help kids, further their basketball careers. So it was a mutual relationship as far as me coaching and the program, and then it just so happened with the kids that played for me as well. They were interested in, and so it was kind of like, and one of my old high school teammates is a coach there, so it was a lot of mutual people involved to make that happen. But I'm just excited to help the kids get to the next level.
Yeah, so it was one of those like the connections you had before kind of help you kind of get to where you are today with them, I guess, and land out of that opportunity.
Yeah, like even someone that's very big in UYBL was my high school coaches for AU. One of my high school coaches for AU. I have a lot of relationships. Within that world. So it was just a matter of time of just linking with the right people to keep things going.
Yeah, and you said you were excited. Like for me, like I would be stoked to go to any like EYBL thing. I just see from all these like basketball players that I've seen all over social media, like all these people that I'm just dying to meet and talk to, like just to be in the same room as them, like breathe the same air. Like I would be super excited for that. Just like what are you excited for most about stepping onto that EYBL circuit as a coach?
Like that, just seeing some of the talent around. I've never seen these kids in person, so Instagram looks good, but when down 7, a lot of people, college coaches watching, things get different. So, just seeing some of the really good players throughout the country, and seeing some of my friends that coach that we were playing against, so for me, I also played in Peace Jam myself. Growing up, it's just gonna be fun just being back in that environment and helping the kids, understand. I think that's one of the biggest things I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, you did say you grew up playing EYBL, right?
No, I played for I think 2 years. Yeah, last 2 years of high school. Freshest team on the circuit, not even close. Wasn't even close.
Yeah. So I mean, back then, like I don't know how big EYBL was when you were playing. Obviously, you're not like this old man or anything, but it's like when you were playing EYBL, I know for a fact I didn't know what EYBL was unless you're like 18 years old right now, which I don't think you are.
No.
Yeah, I assume you're not. What was it like back then playing EYBL? I guess before social media was as big as it is today, and I guess UIBL like isn't as big as it is today. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty big. Like, I'm not. I don't. It wasn't called EYBL. It was just the Nike circuit, you know. But it was pretty big. Like, there was like 5 to 6 marquee tournaments, and then it was Peace Jam. But how they do it now, where you have to qualify. Not 100% sure, but it wasn't like that back then because it wasn't so many Nike teams. But it was pretty big. You know, I was able to see a lot from being there. So yeah, it was pretty big back then as well.
Yeah, and you throughout some of you you talk about you build relationships with players. But you've also talked about how relationships you build with people and being around the right people has helped you. So yeah, just how much is like being around like certain types of people helped grow you to who you are today?
It's helped me a lot, bro. Like I said, I was just blessed to be around a lot of different people. You know, my first basketball coach ever played in the NBA. Like, so the person I learned the game from, the first practice ever, you know, was a former NBA player. So, and then playing and building relationships with other guys that went on to coach college and made it to the NBA. It just helped me. Like, and when I'm around different people, I learn, I soak things up. I don't really talk much. So, like I'll take something from this person, that person, and I'll just put it all in one. So definitely my environment and people I've been around definitely helped me big time into, helping the kids in my business, to, like excel and do good.
Yeah, and you mentioned like what you kind of take things away from certain types of people. I guess the people and everything like that try to help you develop yourself. What's been the biggest thing that you have learned?
The biggest thing is that what you think is actually what happens. And I learned that from Kyrie Irving. Like you watch him play and you like he does some things that you're like what is that? But like when he's not playing, he believes that that's regular, or like he thinks certain guys are not good, and then he plays them and scores 40 on them. But that's because mentally he already he thinks they're not good. So mentally, he's already on a different level. So that's one thing I've learned, that like you can kind of like lie to yourself and and you just believe, and then you can do something that really never done before. So mental is a big part of it, bro. Like believing in yourself, for sure.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Like you mentioned Kyrie, and I don't need you to talk about him like in depth or anything, but it's like how I see you. You're now doing stuff with each one teach one. Like I feel like where you are is like a spot where I'd want to get to one day, and then like a guy like Kyrie Irving, the NBA All-Star. Like that's like arguably like another level. I can't imagine anybody like at that stage in my life. But what is it like seeing people that like on a personal level just become these absolute superstars?
It's crazy, bro. And like it's crazy is probably the word. But that's what gives me the motivation and the drive to keep working with the younger kids, because I've seen it just happen. Like from the beginning, I've seen it. So it just makes me, it makes me believe that it can be done. And that's the same confidence that the kids like this is possible, and I've like a lot of guys from my area made the NBA, but a lot of guys were really good with them. And me and one of my friends, one day we were sitting down figuring out like what's the difference, and the difference is kind of like what I'm trying to do for the kids is being like in their lives, like not daily, like different things, because more than just basketball, and then also you have to be a person that goes on the regular person. know how to deal with people and conduct yourself. So it's definitely giving me a lot of inspiration to keep doing what I'm doing, you know, to the next one up. So that's definitely part of giving me motivation to like this can be done. So just try to relate to and tell them.
Definitely. And you told me about like the goals for the lab, I guess, like getting a facility, but at least for yourself, unless that's kind of your goal, like what's I guess your dream, like what do you? Well, I think I saw a quote was like you shouldn't be dream chasing or something like that. So I'm not gonna say like what's the dream you're chasing, but like yeah, what's your final goal, I guess you could say, or what are you trying to accomplish?
Honestly, the facility for me is something that you know, like right now, just being able to wake up every day and you know do basketball as a living. But you know, right now I'm at this house and at that house, and you know, I think if I just woke up and like I'm going to the lab today, you know, and that's like one of my biggest goals with this. And then you know, the back comes a bunch of things, being able to run camps, being able to do like NBA draft workouts, you know. So for me, it's just teachers just getting a facility that I can do a lot of things and to continue to give back to the community and kids coming up in that.
Yeah, definitely. I told you earlier in the interview, you know, like one of my goals right now, like I want to try to get into coaching. I want to try to be a coach one day, maybe. That's why like I think someone, you know, off the ball in the college, like I hoop. I don't hoop. I'm my school's manager because like I gotta stay around the game. I gotta do that stuff. Hoping I do that in college. At least for now, it's what I want to do is be a manager, whatever college I go to. It's kind of one of the stepping stones in the process. Like, what advice would you give to any young aspiring coaches trying to develop guys like yourself?
Yeah, I would say just you know, just study. Like, try to every day just try to you know, like do something that's gonna help with what you want to do. Like I would like you could YouTube anything. You know, there's documentaries on coaches. There's stories that NBA players have shared about guys. You know, so I would say, you know, just a lot of research and just believing in yourself. You know, that's it. And telling yourself this is what I'm gonna do, and just start it. And that's how, you know, in the beginning things is uncomfortable when you first start. You know, once after a couple of week, 2, 3 weeks, you know, it'll be different. You'll feel more comfortable and you get it done. So I would say research is believing in yourself. That's like the number one thing.
Yeah, I like. Well, we got like. I mean, we have people on here, so it's not like no one's watching. But I like how if anybody is watching or listening to anything I'm saying, like I enjoy how you said, because I saw a basketball coach. He put on his Instagram story. It was the former coach at Coach Carr, used to be at University School. I was over at IMG on the team. Yeah, he put something on his story. He said like he doesn't even know. I kind of like really like read this and kind of took it to heart. But he said like growth is growth. Like no matter if it's like the smallest bit of growth or like just gigantic amount of growth. Like growth is growth. So it's like I may go to like school basketball practice. Like I try to learn one thing. It can be the smallest thing. Like, I walk out of there, I learned something. Got better in anything. Like it's all going to add up at one point. I need to go there and master the art of coaching and 5 practices. Like I can go.
Wow, bro. Yeah, it's definitely a process, and that's one thing, you can't skip the process. You know, like when I started training for someone that was like I was driving an hour away to go train, but I knew basketball, but I never really dealt with parents. I never dealt with a kid like crying because he missed a layup. You know, like I had to learn how to deal with that stuff. So, this is real. You know, so those experiences helped me. You know, and yeah, it's definitely experience. The more you do, the easier it becomes.
Yeah, for sure. And I was going to say thing. I saw one more thing. So there's any final remarks you want to say about yourself or your journey?
Yeah, I would just say, you know, just anybody want to do anything, just believe in themselves. I've seen guys in the NBA that wasn't that good freshman and sophomore year, and junior year they come back like unreal, you know. So I would just say, no matter where you are right now, just don't give up. Just always work, you know. Like, you can always do something to get better, you know. So just believe in yourself, and that's the number one thing I would say. Just believe in yourself, whatever you want to do.
Yeah, for sure. And since we're on IG Live, like you guys obviously know what our Instagrams are, but since we're also on YouTube as well, I always play the Instagram. So before we end this thing, make sure you guys give us a follow on Instagram at absbsa.lab. And I'm at iHoopsFL. And for Adrian Brown, aka Coach AB, or better known as Coach AB, I'm going to play here, and this is another iHoopsFL interview. Peace out, guys.
Yo, bro. All right, man. Good talking to you, bro.
Yeah, you too, man. Appreciate it.
All right, for sure. Have a good night.
All right. Just end the IG Live. Let me see. We're still live on YouTube right now. I want to see if it's still going.
How do you save this? Like if I wanted to save it, or you had to do it, right?
Well, I just like I have the whole YouTube thing right now, so I'm gonna press end broadcast, and I can send you the YouTube link, and you got the whole thing.
Okay.
Yeah. Because on Instagram, there's no way I could you can't share it or anything. So yeah, but so let me just end this real quick. Yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. If any of you guys watch on YouTube, ready to plug your Instagram. So yeah, I'll see you guys hopefully soon with the other interview.